rise against the will of another. You've survived a brush with the warp phenomenon sometime in your distant past. A gust of wind sweeps Erlon's figure away without a trace. The mist around you begins to dissipate, revealing the dark halls of the Manufactorum and leaving behind an oppressive sense of powerlessness. I sense the presence of another Psyker. Someone made contact with you mentally, then tried to harm you with sorcery. I did what I could. You at least appear unharmed. Can you remember what you saw? It was a Chaos Space Marine. One of the traitors to the Imperium. I don't think it was he who touched your mind. I wouldn't have had the strength to go up against a Psyker from the ranks of those monsters. He might have forced some mortal to do his bidding. Perhaps it was through some hapless medium that he sensed the deaths of his henchmen. Heinrichs looks away and frowns. Such indescribable power, to have reached out to your mind at such a distance. I don't want to say that. That feels like that's going to get Heinrichs to start, like, thinking about shooting me. It doesn't matter. The sooner I forget about it, the better. Heinrichs eyes you suspiciously, then reluctantly nods. The Manufactorum around you looks the same as before the vision. Maybe the shadows have grown a little deeper and darker. You dust yourself off and continue on your journey through the darkness. Well, it's a good thing I went out this exit. I would have missed that whole thing. Sebek says the best QOL with the new patch is allowing the pets to mass buff. With the Raven? Yeah, for sure. The world's industrial heart has fallen to corruption, but numerous faint Vox signals from the periphery indicate that the planet's small manufacturing clusters survive without succumbing to heretics. The sacred machines and hallowed lathes from these abodes have been reverently transported to the safety of the ship's holds. The fate of Kiavagama hangs in the balance. Ancient machinery, ancient energy core. Mobile extractium. Dogmatic. Purify and restore Kiavagama no matter the cost. The servants of the Adeptus Ministorum heeded the call and began to assemble a holy crusade to purify Kiavagama. It will take much time and effort to root out every tendril of corruption lurking in the dark corners of the Manufactorum. Bunch of stuff. 15 dogmatic. Oh, we got this planet now too. Got 3 options. Let's see. Cursed Boots. Whenever the wearer ends their turn, they do 1 damage to each adjacent creature and to the wearer themselves. Blessed are the Weaponsmiths. Big Plasma Gun. And this one, Big Axe. Efficiency, plasteel mechanisms, security, plasteel weapons, profit factor down. I think I want this one. Great trials are ahead and we must steel ourselves to face them. The Rogue Trader will sign a mutual aid agreement with the K-Stars of the Departamento Munitorum. These outstanding theoreticians of warfare will supervise the repurposing of the planet's manufactorums for the purpose of producing weapons and military equipment. In the jaws of lathe machines and the wombs of alloy vats, soulless plasteel will take on its highest and most perfect form. That of a weapon. Wow. Okay. That was written. Let's see. Let's check the quest journal now. No, do not show completed ones. Quests. Freight line, compiler out of order. There's a telepath, Dark Tracer Captain must find if the Astropathic Chapel. Go to the Astropathic Chapel. Okay, so that's inside the ship. Achilles reported attack of the Dynasty, heading the raid is probably one of Xenos leaders. Eldari distress. The Prefect will await the Rogue Trader in the Administration Palace of Dargonis. Your vassal Satan, manage these with impotence. Classified information. Rogue Trader learned that more information might be found in Theodora's hidden caches on Kiavagama. Wait, I missed a hidden cache on Kiavagama? Critical task. What? Hang on. It's saying we missed a quest here. I thought I had that map 100% opened up. It was hidden. It was hidden very well. Clearly. Okay. There's a bit of fog right there.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Let's turn this. Alright, that's a dead end, I think. Servo skull. Do you ever get let's see, do you need perception to see hidden thing? And if so, does everybody on the team get a roll to see it?
Patience!
I think there are hidden things, and I think everyone does get a roll, but you know, typically you got one person who has really high perception. Like for example, if you have to do an athletics check, it just basically checks the athletics of the highest member of the party, and it tells you your percentage chance. So you typically try to get like one person in your party with really high awareness, one person in your party with really high athletics, one person in your party, and so on and so on and so on.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Skip the cutscene and still have to wait the length of the cutscene.
What lies beyond?
I think I already went this way. Where's this? Is there anything special in here?
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
An eerie-looking makeshift structure adorned with revolting totems and symbols. The dim lighting makes it look like the symbols are moving. I think we'd already found that. Already been up there. Huh. I don't know where this thing is.
One step at a time amidst the madness.
I remember that. Well. Is it possible you found the thing that had to reload? Not sure. I mean, anything's possible. And although this is my second playthrough, I never found this quest on my first one, so I don't know it. Annie says, I think you just missed it. Annie, where did you think it was? You can tell me where you think it was.
Sings in my veins.
The oh, wait, this is new. The cogitator looks dead. Only a single lit lumen shows that there is life within the machine. Bring your Elect 2 to the scanner. Several lumens light up on the panel. You hear distinct clicks and the cogitator goes quiet, clearly having fulfilled its purpose.
What is that?
Just freaking kick the wall. The door's pneumatic actuators has obviously failed. It can now only be opened manually by finding a suitable valve. I have found 2 of those.
In this tapestry of a world,
There's traps.
I and the rogue thread. What curiosity unveils itself before me?
Where's the... Thick layer of dust is a telltale sign that this place has had very few visitors. Despite that, you could see faint footprints that were left last by whoever came before. I don't see a disarm trap button on these.
I have a different perspective.
The device, which bears an odd resemblance to both cogitator and furnace, reacts to your presence with a faint blink of its lights and an inscrutable binaric signal. The towering furnace wreathed in scarlet, lights fill with you with all... I cannot talk. The towering furnace wreathed in scarlet, light fills you with awe. As you approach, the heavy thrum of ancient servo motors erupts from the machine's depths, along with crackling binaric undertones. The dust-covered keys are illuminated by a faint pale glow. Input the code to disable the traps. The furnace responds with a short binaric signal that evokes the mechanical rustling of unseen switches. Request Theodora's data. The machine reacts with a curt binaric signal, followed by a low, drawn-out tone. I'm poisoned, though. These old research cogitators are unpowered. Rumbling builds up in the bowels of the furnace, growing stronger apace with the sound of the ancient motors. The rumble is echoed by the screeching of metal gears and the clanging of unknown mechanisms. Slowly, almost hesitantly, the creation of the Adeptus Mechanicus disgorges a data bank engraved with the coat of arms of House von Valancius. Received data bank from Kiava Gamma. A storage device discovered in a hidden chamber of Kiava Gamma. The data contains has been securely encrypted. Okay.
Patience.
I guess that's it for that.
My nerves are
The
frayed.
contents of the databanks found on Dargonis and Kiava Gamma have been encrypted. The Rogue Trader's cogitator on the bridge can be used once again to decrypt the data. Okay. Back to the ship. Hulk Hogan just passed away? Hulk Hogan? Really? 1 hour ago, Hulk Hogan passed away at 71. My wife always says that celebrities pass away in threes. And there was, what, Ozzy recently? Then this. Back to bridge. Got a few different things to do on my ship. Let's see. I wonder if I can talk to Hydrix about what happened and see if he's, like, calmed down. And I wonder if he understands that I'm a loyal servant of the Emperor. It's Adira. Where? He's over here. Hydrix.
To what do I owe this visit?
I could tell him kill Yurliet or kill Adira. I want to discuss the cult of the Final Dawn. What can you tell me about it?
The cult's ordinary members are humans who have been corrupted by the archenemy, traitors to the Imperium, and accomplices of chaos. Participation in the cult's rituals always entails brainwashing, literally and figuratively. The longer cult members spend among other cultists, the less critically they think, and the more closely they resemble obedient
1 sec. Okay.
livestock, stripped of their fear and instinct for self-preservation. The worst of them go to their deaths without an inkling of doubt, ready to take hundreds and thousands of souls with them.
Okay.
As for those at the top of the cult's hierarchy, we have not yet managed to get a lead on all of the cult's leaders. I imagine that some of them are hiding in the depths of the Coronis Expanse. But those who are orchestrating the fanatics on nearby worlds are hiding very well indeed. Or receiving protection from above.
What do you mean protection from above?
Governors, commanders, rogue traders. History is full of those who neglect their duty to the Golden Throne and seek allies in the wrong places.
You seem to have been investigating this cult for some time.
We discovered the first traces of it as soon as we arrived in the Coronis Expanse. Since then, the more we learn, the better we see just how far the roots of this blight extend. Destroying individual cells is pointless. We must cut this beast off at its head. As you wish.
Okay. Where is my Rogue Trader's Cogitator? This is it. Alright, so I've got the 2 data slates from the 2 hidden rooms on 2 different planets. The Tech Priest by the Cogitator nods curtly. The sacred mechanism is awake and ready to receive your request. Hand the Dargonis data bank to the Tech Priest. Access the data from Dargonis. With reverent trepidation, the Tech Priest accepts the device from your hands and places it inside one of the drives, all the while honoring the machine with modulating Beneric prayer. Please work, please work. The turbines within the cogitator stir into motion, and the vid screen lights up. The Tech Priest extracts the data slate from the cogitator and gives it to you. The machine spirit has revealed the contents of the encrypted data, and I hereby pass it to you. This is where I reach the limit of my authorization, but you now have the option to review the decrypted data personally. Okay. Hand the Kiava Gamma databank to the Tech Priest. Access the data from Kiava Gamma. The Tech Priest connects the data slate to the cogitator's drive with such care as if he is holding the greatest of treasures. The servo motors hum as they begin to work, and lines of text on the big screen swiftly replace one another. The great mechanism has transformed the secret data into a format that you can comprehend without the assistance of a servant of the Omnissiah. The Tech Priest retrieves the data slate from the heart of the cogitator, holding it with both hands, and passes it to you. The databank decryption procedure has been completed without complication. The Tech Priest stops short. The green lights of his visor, fixed on the cogitator's vid screens, flicker nervously. You receive preliminary report. Okay. Strings of numerical code begin appearing with frightening speed. This time, the numbers are interspersed with words you can understand, and those words form legible sentences. Input. Unpack. True. Epitaph brought her to the beginning. Initiated. Epitaph begot the incident, that which destroyed. And changed everything. The incident became the starting point. Unpack. Analysis. Status. Initiated. The incident breathed life and marked the beginning of all. It marked the beginning of Nomos. It created Nomos. The Tech Priest, now alarmed, is tapping keys on the control panel. His binaric prayer gives way to distressed whimpering. Unacceptable deviation. Violation of the sacred protocols. Possibility of tech heresy. Omnissiah shield us all from heresy. A few moments, the vid screen darkens and flickers to life again. Input prompt. I saw a word among the lines of code. Nomos. What does it mean? That is a mystery to me. If this mechanism truly is tainted, then... Could it be? The Tech Priest Mechadendrite jitters anxiously over the control panel. If heresy truly has taken hold of this machine spirit and scorned the Omnissiah's every tenant, then the machine's madness could be such that it has chosen a name for itself. But that is nothing more than my hypothesis. What was that just now? The imperfections of Vox transmission make the Tech Priest's voice sound even more worried. A catastrophic mistake. A heinous violation of the purity of the hallowed code. This mechanism is touched by heresy, it is branded and tainted by it. Now the machine spirit produces code as before, and yet, Lord Captain, heed my plea, all operations on this machine must be halted until the Enginseer Prime has inspected it. You will report this to Pascal. The Tech Priest bows guiltily, and his mechanical voice becomes hollow and dejected. My knowledge is insufficient to cleanse the code of this mechanism. I will inform the esteemed Enginseer Prime of this disturbing development. Only he has the power to expel the heresy from this corrupted machine spirit. Chat, he's escalating this ticket to tier 2. He's like, tier 2 tech support? Expedition 33 vinyl set available for pre-order. Time to lose $150. Oh my goodness. Alright, All right, this is one of the translated thingamabobs we just got. Oh my gosh. Reporter, Unit, Q590 Research Group. Subject of study, active samples of the terrible disease, assigned name, Tech Blight. Effect, Tech Blight is capable of corroding matter and destroying it from within at terrifying speed. This deadly plague infects mechanisms as well as any metals and other materials used as their basis. No technology known to the Crimson Priesthood, neither gifts from the Great Omnissiah, nor heretical products of Xenos, can withstand this onslaught. The disease poisons and warps the very essence and taints the code of sacred mechanisms. The Tech Blight triggers an effect that is repulsive at its core. It transforms metals into horrific forms of an unpredictable nature. During testing, it demonstrated the ability to fuse solid matter with organic objects, creating something new as a result. The phenomenon was assigned the name Tech Splicing. Method of transportation, ceramic capsules. Burnt clay is the only thing that can contain the pestilence. Extra caution must be taken, giving the containers fragility. Any damage might result in an uncontrolled outbreak. Damaging the containers is unacceptable. Current stage. Test to subjugate the Tech Blight to his will and turn it into a weapon subject to the Omnissiah's wisdom. Test result assessment success. Note, the test triggered an event recorded under the name incident N87204. The quest for knowledge in his name will continue. Hypothesis 1. The Tech Blight was created in the darkness of unknown worlds, away from the eye of the great creator. Hypothesis 2. Any taint that exists to harm the machine, God's creations can and will be bent to his will. Okay. And the other translated thing. Theodora von Valancius's personal notes. Data deleted. Data deleted. Entry damaged. Traitor like a lackey. It is humiliating and dispiriting to put up with the part of an errand servant to an imperial madman vested with even greater power than that of any rogue traitor. Alas, when one side of the scales holds my pride and the other the fate of the von Valancius protectorate and my entire bloodline, choice becomes a futile illusion. It would be far too naive of me not to prepare for the worst. Epitaph will decide the future of the Expanse as a whole, but I have some time at my disposal until then. Heirs with the von Valancius blood in them will soon be located and brought to me. I cannot afford to delay the choice of a successor any longer. Okay. Alright. What else we got? Critical task, forgotten to wins, system, every vassal, fair trade, Eldari, Blades in the Call, Underskill Dynasty, Association in Blood. Choirmaster Weiss is a powerful telepath that could track down the conspirators on the ship by following the traces of the traitor's thoughts. The Lord Captain can find him at the Astropathic Chapel. Okay. Can you trade the factions from the bridge? Yes. Yes, I can. If you're asking, like, will I right now? Not right this second, but yes, you can do that. Favorite team for this playthrough? In my previous playthrough, Argenta was my carry. She killed everything. But in this playthrough, trying a few different people out.
They will see.
Oh
yes, indeed. They all will
Argenta
see.
in my playthrough misses everything. For me, that's Will in Baldur's Gate 3. He misses everything. Zachary Wise. Choirmaster Wise starts the conversation before you have opened your mouth to speak. Your lordship, I have something for you. The choirmaster hands you a sheet of paper with uniform lines of machine type etched into it. Thanks to your assistance in repairing the compiler, we've been able to interpret a most curious message. It contains a call sign that agents of the renegade Voitivir used in their especially important reports. When was the signal sent? I cannot say with certainty, your lordship. Following the repair work, I went through text that had defied decoding before. The signal had lost its way in the bowels of the mechanism. It could be weeks old or years. What does the message say? Only a few words. Lilamed. Odaenathus 11. The winds have ceased. It is done. Now Lilamed is a Voitivir's call sign for special reports, but the rest is a code we are unfamiliar with. That said, we know where to look for the truth. Odaenathus 11 system. Could it be a message from Voitivir? He was more likely the intended recipient. I will deal with the report. Right now there is something else I want to discuss with you. Pity. The choir master's shoulders go limp and his face resumes its usual sullen expression. I was hoping that curious dispatch would distract you from the dangerous idea you brought here, and I would not have to implore you to reconsider. So you would rather not take part in the search for mutineers? It is my wish to be useful to your lordship, but what you have come for will put the ship in great peril. A ritual of this kind can, and certainly will, go the worst way possible. Your predecessor came to me with the same orders once. Nothing good came of it. Please believe me, Lord Captain, when I say a mountain of corpses was the least of the problems we faced that time. So you're saying you've performed the ritual before for Theodora? Many years ago, it was a time when Lady Theodora had become anxious. Perhaps the Lord Inquisitor's interest in her affairs adversely affected her, and shall we say trust in her own subjects. She was expecting a betrayal, and eventually her paranoia brought her to me. Hey, thank you. Okay. She was expecting a betrayal, and eventually her paranoia brought her to me. I performed the ritual, but the choir ceased to exist. What is the nature of the ritual? It takes the entire choir's power to invade such a prodigious number of minds at once. I weave their voices into a chord and steer it into the murky sea of other people's souls. Thank you. Together we read tens of thousands of thoughts, emotions, and intents and look for the things that we are after. The seed of corruption that you are interested in. Why are you so worried about the ritual? Lord Captain, do you know the proverb about staring too long into the abyss? What you are asking for is tantamount to plunging the entire choir into that abyss. A ritual like that will require incredible focus from each of its participants. It will take a single careless thought, a single glance in the wrong direction, for the way back to be lost. Human minds fusing into one another, vitrified organs inside still living bodies, perverse fantasies manifesting in the flesh. Nothing will stop the horrors of the warp from spreading all over the ship in the blink of an eye. And even if I had agreed, it would be impossible. I would need a second powerful telepath as a defender to shield my mind. The last time my best apprentice Adeline did that, but she is no longer with us. She was exceptionally talented, rivaling even myself. Now I know of only one psyker in the entire expanse who is her equal, but he is bound to the service of one of House Winterscale's planetary governors, and thus unavailable to us, which makes your dangerous enterprise an impossibility. How bad was it? Worse than you can imagine, your lordship. It only took a fraction of a second lingering inside another mind for one of the astropaths to lose control of their own. The affliction spread down the chain like fire. No one was spared. The minds of my charges could not withstand the tension. Their consciousnesses were caught in a vortex of alien thoughts. The fortunate ones died at once. For the rest... How did you survive? I managed to send out a call for help and did my best to contain the phantoms of my own before Lady Theodora arrived. I was the only survivor out of the entire choir. Her ladyship allowed me to expend a month in a secluded cell upon whose floor and walls I drew the most powerful protective hexagrams I knew. I was crushed, I was broken, and worst of all, I was afraid. Afraid of meeting the same fate as Adeline and my other apprentices. An astropath must never be afraid, your lordship. One who yields to fear dies and dooms those around him. How did you replenish the choir? Lady Theodora bombarded the Adeptus Administratum for months with requests to provide her with a new astropathic choir. In the end, new voices did fill the chapel. They were never told what happened to the previous choir, but they have inklings, and I pray to the God Emperor that they never find out the details of this tragedy. The important thing I'm interested to know is, was the ritual successful that time? Did you find what you were looking for? The choir master cowers as if cornered. I did find it, but the price. The price. Yes, Lady Theodora got the name she wanted, but was it worth it? The tragedy has remained a hidden secret in the chapel, but we were a hair's breadth away from it becoming an epitaph inscribed on the ship's remains. It is fair to say my predecessor was being herself there. Please, Lord Captain, learn from her mistakes instead of committing your own. How is a ritual like this even possible? It is akin to heresy. It is not heresy, but it is indeed a dangerous tool that will only yield to a mighty hand. That time things were going all too well. The choir was many-voiced like never before. Adeline and my other talented apprentices sounded louder than the rest of the astropaths in all the expanse. We were strong and confident enough to take a bold gamble, and we lost. I see. That is the harsh truth, your lordship. It must not be done. It seems the risk is too great. We will not perform the ritual. The lines on his brow disappear. Thank you, your lordship. I realize that this ritual may be your only chance of finding the mutineers, but is their plot so threatening as to risk dooming the entire vessel? I do not think so. Wait, what? Yeah, my wife brought me lunch while I was reading this. So do I have to do this to do the investigation?